everyone and welcome to our video. My name is Alisther and I hope everyone is doing well at home. Okay, as you all know, last year we did a Facebook Live on Puberty 101. In that video, we highlighted the importance of teaching our children about sex education. We also gave tips to parents on how to teach their children about sex education at home. Okay, so from the video, we received a lot of feedback, and then once we sum up everything, we realized that there are many clueless and concerned parents on how to teach their autism children about sex education. So hence, we came up with this video series. We hope that with this video series, teachers, caregivers and even parents can have an idea on how to educate their autism children about sex education. So today with me, I have Miss Alia to share more information on this topic. Okay, so let's not waste any more time. Let's begin now. Okay, first and foremost, what is sex education? In my understanding, sex education is about teaching our younger children the importance of safe sex, but also teaching them how to protect themselves from sex abuse. Okay, Miss Alia, do you think this term is correct? Can you elaborate more?
Yes, it is true. Sex education is not about educating our child about physical act of sex, but it's actually teaching our child what is the function of their body, their body awareness, what is appropriate, what is not appropriate, what they can do in public, what they cannot do in public, and actually most important thing is getting them ready. How can they defend themselves or protect themselves from unwanted situation?
Oh, so it's not about the act of sex itself, but it's more on educating them about their body awareness, social appropriateness, and also protecting themselves from any unwanted advances, right? Okay, so what about those children with autism? Because as we know, children with autism can be a bit rigid and for them change can be challenging, right? So as a parent with an autism child, how can we teach them?
Yes, I do agree that individuals with autism, they can be rigid and they may have difficulty to accept to changes. But however, very important that we have to start as young as possible. So when we start young as possible, that is where we can prepare them. So the changes, the transition will be very smooth.
Oh, okay. So when you say young, how young is young?
If I were to put an age, I would say 2 years old. But however, it's very important for parents to know, is the child ready or not?
Okay. When you say ready, how do I know that the child is ready and what do you mean by ready?
Okay, what I mean by ready is we have to look at few factors. So the first factor is their sensory processing development. So we know children with autism may have seeking or they may have avoiding or even both behavior towards certain sensory. So for example, let's say tactile. So children who may have tactile defensiveness, they may tend to avoid certain texture. They may not want to wear certain texture. Okay. So imagine if your child, a girl going through puberty, going to have a period, and she have to wear a pad, but she's having a tactile defensiveness. So how is she going to wear the pad when she herself have that tactile defensiveness? So it's very important. First, we have to make sure our children, as young as possible, we tackle the sensory issue first. That is one. Then number two, language comprehension. So what do I mean by language comprehension is their understanding of language. So they must know what is the meaning of the words. So say for example, toilet. So what is the function of toilet? So you go poo-poo, you go pee-pee in the toilet. Because as we know, when we were younger, okay, diaper is our toilet, right? But then as we grow older, we have to change from diaper to become to pee-pee and poo in the toilet. So they need to have that language comprehension, understanding what does this mean, what does these words mean, okay? So how can this be taught? Again, as young as possible, we already exposed to them about language, right? Then the third one is expressing language. So expressing language is they're able to express themselves, telling us, okay, informing us how do they feel or what do they want. So for example, go back again to a child or a girl going through puberty. You know, when we're going through our period, we might feel discomfort in our stomach and everything. So imagine a child who are unable to express herself, unable to tell, hey mommy, my stomach is very painful, I feel discomfort. So definitely we see children who are unable to express themselves, they might bite, they might do physical things to get your attention. So therefore, having a form of communication is very important. So to sum up, what I mean by readiness is first, their sensory processing development, their expressive language, and also their language comprehension.
But what about those who are non-verbal?
That's a very good question. Okay, non-verbal. Okay, we know there's a lot of form of communication, not only verbal. So we have the PACS, the Picture Action Communication System. We have the EEC. We have sign language. Okay, we also have written language. Right? There's many forms of communication. Having a mode of communication is very, very important. It's a very basic life skill that everyone should have. Alright? So from young, that's why it's very important, as young as possible, we are already teaching them how to communicate appropriately. So teaching communication it should be an everyday routine. So, as young as possible, you have to touch, you have to teach them, you have to communicate, you have to educate them how to communicate appropriately. Don't underestimate them, because they can communicate. You just let the method may be different.
Yes, I agree. Don't underestimate them. Okay, so from today's discussion, I can sum up that before we teach our children about sex education, we need to prepare them. We need to make sure that they are ready, and when I say ready, we need to make sure that they are ready in terms of their sensory processing development, their language comprehension skill, and also their expressive language, right? Okay, and then because all three of these I think are important and also essential in making sure that our child is ready for sex education.
That's right. That's very, very true.
Okay, another thing that I think parents should take note is that to start as young as possible.
Yes, that's true.
Always practice at home and never give up.
That's true.
Because it may be hard at first, right? But then the end result will be beneficial for everyone.
True. Very, very true.
Yes.
Very, very true.
So I think that's all for our video today. Thank you, Ms. Alia, for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone for watching and stay tuned for our second episode. Bye.